That nigga stole on you that fucking stop. In the mix. No, he hit you like a left hit you. I think I can see him. Hey. Let's make a headshot. Stand down, Amanda. Make a headshot. Stand down, Amanda. Right
Bass, I promise you none of these niggas gonna beat me. None of them. I'm gonna make an example out of Tio. That's the only thing I love. I promise they gonna be up.
This is honestly the most flawless from 123 all the way down to 114. Since then, he's had his shares of victories.
Shakur Stevenson has undergone significant weight gain, bulking up as he prepares to fight Teofimo Lopez at a catch weight of 140 pounds on January 31st.
Fucked up. Work hard. Sacrifices, discipline, time away from my family. How you gonna beat me? Ain't no way you can beat me that way, bro. Keep saying I'm the best. Because I don't want this shit more than me. I know it. I know it. I want this so bad. So bad. Shit easy, yeah.
Easy, man.
Easy.
Always easy, man.
You already know.
Always easy, man.
This supposed to be a sprint.
Let's go.
This ain't no sprint.
No, it's a job. Let's go. We ready.
Determined in his training camp, he works tirelessly, pushing limits, perfecting skills, and building strength to dominate in the upcoming fight.
Both legs, band hit for 3, we rested, we did 3 more. And we're trying to get that 1.0 meters per second, maximize our power. I had you at about 120, 125, but we're gonna add some reps and lighten the weight a little bit.
Terrence Crawford frequently trains with Shakur Stevenson, mentoring him, sharing techniques, and sparring intensely, pushing Stevenson to improve skills, mindset, and resilience, providing tough sessions that teach invaluable lessons.
I was this at my
Which one?
There it go. There it go. There it go. There it go.
God
There it go, bro. He trying to run me into the wall. Y'all didn't see that? He's trying. Man, I performed. You know that. I told y'all what I was gonna do. I was gonna come out here and beat his ass every game. And look, he thinking about saying, let's play again.
Shakur Stevenson focuses intensely on improving his speed, refining his footwork, punches, and reactions to dominate opponents with quick, precise movements. Teofimo Lopez admits Shakur Stevenson is extremely talented at 135 pounds, but expresses doubts about his performance at 140 pounds, saying only the upcoming fight will reveal how well he adapts.
This is honestly the most flawless from 123 all the way down to 114. Since then, he's had his shares of victories. I think 135 was his top tier. 140, I think we just gotta wait and see. You know what I mean? And for him to even come up to do that, you know, I think he deserves his flowers for everyone else out there. You know, guys trying to go more down into the ranks of top 5, top 3, and eventually top 1 for pound.
But that ain't what you said, bro.
What'd I say?
I mean, I gotta remind you, you said basically I'm good at the lower weight classes. The only way that I'm going to be good is I fight at 126 pounds against guys like Inoue. But once I move up, you're gonna, well, I can't compete at this level at that weight class. So That's what you said.
Antonio Tarver approaches this matchup with the caution of someone who understands boxing beyond records and recent performances. From his perspective, Teofimo Lopez is not a fighter who can be judged only by his last few outings. Tarver highlights that Lopez still possesses natural gifts that cannot be trained into existence. His speed, strength, and explosiveness remain intact, and those traits alone make him a threat to anyone in the division. Tarver's warning centers on the idea that danger does not disappear simply because confidence wavers. Fighters with Lopez's athletic ability only need one opening to change a fight completely. Against a technician like Shakur Stevenson, any moment of hesitation or miscalculation could become costly.
They both possess?
Yeah, I mean, smart money would be on the boxer, Shakur Stevenson, winning the decision. But, if Lopez can make this fight, a lot tougher than expected, and he's going to have to exchange with Shakur. He's a fast fighter. We don't know who's the quickest or fastest here. You have to give the speed edge to Shakur. But if Lopez can punch with this fast guy, make him a little bit cautious and a little bit leery of what's coming back, that serves him well. But Teofimo is one of the best conditioned fighters out there. If this fight goes late, you can expect him to be pushing forward round 9, 10, and 11 if it goes late.
Yeah, a big question is always like what Teo is going to show up. And like when everyone's counted out Teo, it's actually been the times where he's like upset people, like against Lomachenko or against Josh Taylor, fights to the level of his competition. And I've been thinking like, hey, if we get the best version of Teo, like the Teo that showed up for those fights, does that Teo beat the best Shakur?
It would have to. I think that's the only chance he got, is to really be his ultra self, doing all the things that makes him Teofimo Lopez. The footwork could be a major advantage for him, being able to get inside. A lot of times he fights free. He don't really have a style. He does what it takes. And he's a gutsy fighter. Real gutsy. He's not going to be leery to take chances. He's a gambler in there. You know what I'm saying? So he's a live underdog, I would say. A live underdog, but if he's to win this fight, I think he has to probably stop Shakur Stevenson.
Zab Judah views this fight as a pure collision of elite talent rather than a clash of hype. He sees two competitors who are equally committed to proving superiority, neither willing to give ground mentally or physically. From Judah's standpoint, this is not a fight where one man dominates through size or power alone. Instead, it is about who can impose their skill set under pressure. Both fighters are known for confidence and discipline, and that combination suggests a contest filled with tension adjustments and intensity. Judah believes the refusal of either fighter to back down is what elevates this bout into something special, turning it into a genuine examination of ability rather than a showcase.
Yeah, what do you like about it?
It's two dog fighters. You got two dog fighters that's coming in there to solidify themselves as the game changer. Teo's not gonna lay down. Shakur is not gonna lay down. It's gonna be skill versus skill. Teo's a very talented, skillful fighter. Shakur is a very extremely talented, skillful fighter. And yes, we're going to see a hell of a great chess match that night.
Yeah, I believe so. Now, I think in your earlier predictions, you felt like Shakur will be stopping Teo? Am I right?
Annihilation, decapitation. Is that what you're talking about? You going back to my comments? Yeah. I feel like Teo's a very dominant force, but I just think that the skills of Shakur Stevens is gonna overwhelm Teo. It's gonna overwhelm. Yeah. He's never seen this type of action before yet.
Now,
no disrespect. Okay. It's my little man, you know what I'm saying? Just saying, it is what it is.
Looking at, the stats, the resumes, we see that, Teo has been at this high level for a long time. When it comes to Shakur Stevenson, his amateur record speaks for itself, but at the same time, not necessarily getting the notable names that people know in America. People are also saying that they're kind of discrediting Shakur's resume, saying he hasn't really fought anybody. Teofimo Lopez would be that first person. Do you feel like could be something that, I don't know, it could be a lot closer than what people think?
I mean, listen, the fight is going to be a lot closer than people think. We just blabbing our mouth and running off what we think our professional opinion is. These are two talented, great young fighters in here. You know what I'm saying? Teo's not going to back down. Shakur's not going to back down. We're going to get an exciting 12-round fights or however long it should last. We're going to have an exciting fight. And I'm expecting both guys to come in there and leave everything they got in that ring.
Shakur Stevenson represents a problem that very few fighters have been able to solve. Rather than overwhelming opponents with aggression or high volume, he takes control in a far more subtle way. Stevenson focuses on limiting openings instead of forcing action, slowly taking away options and guiding the pace on his own terms. His defensive awareness, sharp positioning, and precise timing make every exchange difficult to access. Opponents are forced to work harder just to land cleanly, often growing impatient as rounds pass.
Shakur Stevenson really might 12-0 Teofimo Lopez. People love talking about this resume that Teofimo Lopez has. Granted, it's a really good resume. He has guys like Lomachenko under his belt, Josh Taylor. But if I'm being honest, Josh Taylor played into what Teofimo Lopez wanted him to do so perfectly. Lomachenko, he lost that fight more than Teofimo won that fight, if I'm being honest. And against lower level competition, like a Steve Claggett, like a Jermaine Ortiz, like a Kambosos, he struggled against these dudes.
This approach makes Stevenson both frustrating and unpredictable inside the ring. He does not give away patterns easily, and when a rival begins to adjust, he adapts without hesitation. Against a fighter like Lopez, who thrives on rhythm, confidence, and momentum, this style is especially dangerous. Stevenson's ability to disrupt flow before it even develops threatens to neutralize Lopez's natural strengths. What separates Stevenson further is his composure. He remains calm under pressure and rarely panics when situations shift. That steadiness allows him to read opponents in real time and make small but decisive adjustments. Facing Stevenson demands patience, discipline, and emotional control, qualities that challenge even the most talented athletes. For Lopez, this matchup is not just physical, but a test of focus and restraint.
People talk about a focused Teo. A focused Teo was only unfocused one fight his whole life, and that was George Kambosos, and that's the only fight I'll give y'all. No matter who Shakur fought, he's looked great against everybody. No matter it's the bums that y'all say he fights or the number one guys in the division. Shakur Stevenson has dominated everybody. It's gonna be a sight to see. Shakur Stevenson on fight night is going to make fireworks happen, and I can't wait to see it. I've already gave my stance on this, but Shakur Stevenson it's just his time, and Teo's just another piece of the puzzle.
Lopez's career took a clear shift after the loss to George Kambosos, a moment that disrupted the momentum he once carried so confidently. Before that defeat, his performances showed sharp focus and consistent execution. Since then, results and displays inside the ring have felt uneven, with flashes of brilliance mixed with lapses in discipline. Still, inconsistency should not be mistaken for a lack of threat. Lopez remains a dangerous fighter, especially in the early stages of bouts when his energy is high and belief fuels his offense.
Clean. Can Teofimo hurt Shakur with one shot? Can you hurt him clean? He hasn't been a killer, as much of a killer at 140. And after Kambosos, he hasn't been the same, in my opinion. But he's still explosive and still dangerous in the first 7 rounds. You know what I'm saying? The first 8 rounds. So I think it's a good fight. I like the fight, actually, because of that. Teofimo got the explosive punching power on his side and good athleticism. And Shakur has, superior boxing IQ, good range, good distance. So it's great. It's good boxer versus good athlete at this point. So I like the fight. I don't say it's 50-50. I say it's 60-40 Shakur. But I like Teofimo's chances in this fight. You know what I'm saying? If Teofimo makes this a fight and comes out early and attacks and gets right up on Shakur, right? Attacks him and makes him fight.
His greatest strength continues to be his ability to generate sudden power. Even when he appears out of rhythm or off balance, a single explosive movement can change the tone of a fight. This unpredictability forces opponents to stay alert, never fully relaxed, because control can disappear in an instant. Analysts often point out that while his dominance has wavered, his physical attributes have not faded. Speed, strength, and athleticism are still very much present. This combination creates a volatile profile where moments of brilliance brilliance exists alongside costly mistakes. Against a calm and composed fighter like Stevenson, that volatility becomes even more significant. It could lead to a defining breakthrough if timed perfectly, or it could deepen frustration if control and patience are lost. But if Stevenson establishes distance and keeps the fight at his preferred pace, Lopez may find himself reaching, missing, and growing frustrated.
De La Santos. You're gonna see De La Santos part 2, and he just gonna get on his bicycle, which we don't want to see, or he gonna have to fight. And and I think Teofimo is a guy that can make Shakur fight because he can cut off the ring well enough. You know what I'm saying? I think he can stay with him well enough where he can turn this into a fight, and it'll be exciting for him if he does. I think Shakur, like a lot of fights, he needs this name in order to silence a lot of the naysayers, because people talk a lot of shit about Shakur, especially after the De La Santos fight. I don't think the Zabata fight took it off of him, even though they tried to make it seem like it should be off him at this point.
Tim Bradley views this matchup as a clear contrast between two very different fighting philosophies, where raw explosiveness meets calculated control. From his perspective, Teofimo Lopez thrives on sudden movements and sharp bursts of energy that allow him to create offense out of nowhere. His speed and athleticism are weapons designed to overwhelm opponents before they can settle into a rhythm. Lopez looks to impose chaos early, forcing reactions and capitalizing on hesitation with power shots that can instantly change the fight.
Understand that, but it's the feet. The feet is what gets you in position to be able to land those shots. Footwork is extremely important. When I look at both these guys, and I look at Shakur's footwork, I look at Teo's footwork. And what I noticed about Teo's footwork in particular is that in order to be able to throw the amount of power that he has, I've noticed with Teo, there's always a subtle pause before he actually explodes. And Teo's a guy that likes to explode into contact, like to explode into his opponents, man, to land his offense, fast, twitchy type muscles, fibers, he's extremely fast. Some may say that, his twitchiness kind of reminds him of like Roy Jones' type of, movements, how quick he's able to close that distance on his opposition.
According to Bradley, the outcome will not be decided by who throws more punches or shows more aggression. Instead, victory will belong to the fighter who dictates how and where the fight is fought, controlling the rhythm and forcing the other man to adjust.